What's up guys, this is Drizzit, and I have another game mode and map commentary for you. For those of you who are new to Battlefield Play4Free, Sharqi Assault may seem like a relatively new concept to you because Rush mode has been the main mode played on Sharqi as of the date of this video's creation. However, just because it's not on the server lists does not mean that Assault mode for Sharqi is a bad choice. In fact, it is my favorite mode for this map, and actually I prefer it way more than Sharqi Rush. For your information, I'm using the Desert M145 scope on the AEK 971, along with Viper mags, the Nemesis Stock, and the Predator barrel. After the end of playing around with this setup, I actually prefer the red dot sight instead of the M145 on this particular setup. So just if you were thinking of getting what I have right now, I would suggest red dot instead of the scope that I'm using at this second. Of all the maps that feature Assault game mode, Sharqi Assault is the most unique in the fact that it has 3 flags instead of 4. Every other map that features the Assault game mode uses 4 flags. For that reason, whether it be with interclan scrimmages or on public servers, one's playstyle is slightly different, and also teamwork is slightly different with this map than with any of the other Assault game mode maps. Also, the rate at which flags give you points is much faster than any of the other maps, making for a much quicker game in general than with any of the other maps. At the beginning of the round, both Russian and US sides have one flag that they can both reach very quickly, but then the B flag, which is located towards the middle, is a sort of hotspot that a lot of people tend to rush towards the beginning of the round, and also on for the rest of the game if the teams are relatively equal and don't wind up capturing the back bases. There are 2 main playstyles that fit Sharqi Assault pretty well. One is rushing, which usually implies a very good close quarters combat weapon, which generally means a shotgun, an AS Val, a FAMAS, or any other close quarters combat weapon which has a very high rate of fire when you wind up at close quarters situations. The other playstyle suited for Sharqi is medium range combat, which I am using more of in this video, especially at this point where you can see I'm just barely standing from a flag, but not quite capturing it because I know my weapon that I'm using right now doesn't suit close quarters combat so well as some others can, just like the FAMAS who killed me right now. Going for more defensive long-range playstyle is not as advised as with the other ones because it's just a smaller map and it's much more difficult for that. If you are a sniper trying to still do some bolt action sniper rifle gameplay, I suggest using the L96A1, which has a high rate of fire, and therefore if you miss one shot you can easily make up for it with its relatively fast rate of fire. For those of you who like to post up and use your assault rifles or other medium combat range weapons to the best use, there are plenty of obstacles and things for you just to pop your head over in this map, so that you won't be completely exposed when taking enemy fire. Strategies and effective ways of winning the match are very reliant upon one's playstyle and how well one also uses that playstyle to their advantage. Of course, teamwork is also very essential. All 3 flags have a very fast capture rate, and you do not need to stand by them for very long before they're captured. That also goes with uncapturing them, which is also very quick, and for that reason it promotes and encourages close range rushing and great defensive positioning while capturing flags. As we know with other maps, it's essential to know a map to win a round. However, with Sharqi Assault, I find that it's really essential to know this map as best as possible so that you can know every little obstacle or other thing to hide behind and also know all the alternate routes to areas. This leads me up to my next topic, which is strategies. Sharqi Assault, if one is trying to be sneaky, alternate routes, and knowing the map is very essential. Coming from the Russian side, one can sneak around on the left side of the map to the C flag and therefore quickly capture it after everyone has moved on to the B flag on the US side. This is slightly more difficult for the US side to sneak around to the A flag because the obstacles and placement of objects on this map tends, in this particular spot, which is actually where I am right now, tends to lean towards the favor of the Russian side. If one is looking from the perspective of the Russian side, on the right side of the map, one can actually go down onto the road from either side and sneak way past around. The road most people don't even know about, but is accessible. There are some staircases, and you can also jump off the side. Also, on both sides, at the very beginning of the round, there are two main spawn areas. One of these spawn areas is closer to the A flag or the C flag, depending on if you are on the Russian side or the US side, respectively. If one is spawning at one of the other main spawn points, it's actually advisable to skip the A or C flags and instead go and capture the B flag as quickly as possible. That can be very game-changing later on and make it so that your team has two flags instead of one. The roles that support are the rush type for the Russian side and also the medium-range combat type. For the US side, it's a little bit more limited because you are having to come and face a hill and then a wall at the very top of that hill. Then you reach the B flag. With that said, one has to go on a more close quarters combat scenario and focus less on the medium range combat. There are about 7 or 8 locations on Sharqi Assault that promote sniping and general long range combat. I'm only going to list the buildings with ladders on them in this map, which is about 4. There is one located at the spawn point for the US side, at the C flag. There is another located close to the spawn point for the Russian side at the A flag. This one is also used for Sharqi Rush quite a bit, coming from the attacker side. The other 2 locations where people can do long-range combat on top of roofs are located on both sides of the map and can only be reached by either the Russian side or the US side, and not both. The roof reserved for the Russian side, again, is a great place that a lot of people use in Sharqi Rush also. Okay, that's all I have for you about Sharqi Assault. Please tell me if there's anything I've been missing that is important to this commentary, and I would love to include that somehow or another, maybe in the future. Now, as my question of the day, what is your favorite setup for this map, and what is your favorite class for this map? I personally like Assault, Medic, or Engineer, all of them, and also Recon if it's using some sort of close-range weapon. So leave your answers to those questions in the comments below, and I will try to look over them and respond to you. Leave a like if you think the map Sharqi is great with the game mode Assault, because I think it is, and I also think it should get more attention than it has been recently. Alright, that's all for now, and I'll see you next time.